Hello and welcome to the Audacity Factor. My name is Kathryn, the founder and host here, also creator of our community on Patreon. Please join us there. Check it out. You can join for free. And we also have paid levels as well for even more resources for you. Today, I want to talk a little bit about what I believe about the dynamics of love. Now, there's so much going on right now about that's keeping us in our logistical mind, our emotional mind. And really, one thing that I believe is that the basis for everything is love. It's something that's there all the time, like the sun. There may be clouds in the way, but that doesn't mean the sun is not there. This is exactly the same, at least in my belief system, in my opinion. We talk about falling in love, falling out of love, and that's really not what it is. What we end up doing is we open ourselves to love with someone else. So it's really this level of openness. So if you think about it in the terms of the clouds and the sun, there are no clouds in the way, or maybe there are little mini clouds that, okay, whatever it may be that you feel is some kind of annoyance or whatever. But in the very beginning, ultimately, and I'm not talking about physical chemistry, I'm talking about that feeling of openness, that feeling of hopefulness, that feeling of empowerment, the feeling of connectedness, and the feeling of security and safety that you feel in this kind of, we'll call it this kind of pillow of love with someone else. Now, it's up to us too to feel that way about ourselves. What happens is you don't actually fall out of love with someone. You put things in the way, and so do they. So it's not a matter, and that could be absolutely behaviors, beliefs. Our words can be so hurtful. And those are the things that we pile in front of us and they pile in front of them to create this space then between us. So you are then blocking your access to love with this person because the love is always there. So unless you too can view it that way and know, okay, well, what am I doing? And you can only do it from your side because our goal is to not have a side, that we keep the let's call it a conduit, maybe clear of any debris, any boxes, baggage, resentments, grudges, anything like that out of the way. So you can do that from your side. What have you put it in the way of blocking it? Is it hurt about something? Is it a resentment about something? Is it a behavior that this person exhibits that undermines your feelings of connectedness and love for them? And having spent 10 years in an abusive relationship, I completely understand the dynamic that is at work there. So, when humanity is relational, all of it. There is absolutely no way you can go through your life without having relational interactions and without desiring relational interactions. I know for myself that from my past experiences, it was difficult for me to engage at a level that I wanted to because I didn't feel safe. And I put these boundaries up that prevented real connection because I didn't trust. I lacked trust in myself. I lacked trust in anybody else because of my own experiences and my own choices. When we choose what's against us, when we choose something that is not right for us, when we choose to engage in that repeatedly, we undermine our trust in ourselves, let alone the other person. We don't trust them at all. And I don't know that I believe that trust, at least in that extreme situation, when you've been in an abusive relationship, can be rebuilt with that person. But we can certainly take the responsibility for our own part of that and disengage from and clear the way true connection and real connection, maybe with somebody else. This could be family members, this could be friends. And mind you, that doesn't mean that I'm not saying that you have to stay in an abusive situation, stay in a relationship that is not good for you. I'm not saying that. But when you do, say, remove yourself, like I did, from the abusive situation, it's up to you to recognize what the protective barriers that you've built that get in the way of love and connection. It's up to us to be able to dismantle those so that we can actually have true connection with someone else. Now, in my own experience, in doing this, doing that work to recognize that you want to clear the way, you want to be open to real and true connection, that will automatically draw to you someone who's doing the same thing. Now, if you're going to fall back into an old pattern, I guarantee you will draw to you the exact scenario that you do not want. I've done it any number of times, and it's funny, not funny. Until I did that, until I learned to choose what is good and right for me so that I could actually connect and feel love. I could feel that sense of trust and safety and be able to have a clear path to the other person. Now, my husband and I talk about this a lot, and we've both been in traumatizing scenarios for years. And in this iteration of who we are, we both recognized, now we didn't know each other, but he was doing his work in recovering, healing from his own scenario, as I was as well. So in clearing the way, love, clearing all the clouds out of the way of the sun, it left us a clear path to each other. Now, it is our responsibility to keep those paths clear, no matter what. And I have to say, being openly and honestly ourselves as our first benchmark is key. Choosing for ourselves and understanding that what we're creating is both of our responsibilities. So he's breathing in, you don't want to breathe in distrust and fear and anger and aggression and anything traumatizing into it. You want to breathe in trust and love and fun and all the things that will create the relationship between the two of you. And that's your responsibility always, what you're breathing into the relationship and keeping the avenue, the path to the connection and love clear. That's your responsibility. So what is it that you need to do? How can you begin to clear the way for yourself? Now, you can only do it for yourself. You can't do it for the other person, but you can do it for you. And I encourage you to recognize, you can even, you can write it out, you can draw it out. What are the little boxes and pieces and rocks and debris that are in the way of you actually having the connection, relationship, the love that you want? What's in the way? And all of that typically is based in fear. Anything that's anger, aggression, resentment, trauma is all fear-based. So what can you do today to start clearing your debris field? Let me know in the comments. I'll see y'all soon.